Wedding day, she found out that her loved someone else. No crying, no concession. She turned around and married the legendary billionaire who was paralyzed for 5 years. Everyone laughed at her for marrying a cripple, and not knowing this man is not only awake. I waited for her for 5 years. Heroine Elena, I thought I was finally about to start a new life. K. Voss, who had been in love for 5 years. Heir of the wealthy, personable, she thought she was his only one. Until the wedding. Only then did she discover the shocking truth: the person K really loved is his stepsister Olivia, and she, Elena, from start to finish, is just a stand-in to cover up this taboo relationship. For a woman, this is probably the cruelest humiliation. But Elena didn't collapse. She made a decision at the wedding that no one expected: to swap places with Olivia. Married the groom who was forgotten by everyone. Alistair Hale, heir to the Mafia Hale family, was in a car accident 5 years ago. He has since been identified as a vegetable, paralyzed in bed, living in a wheelchair and a feeding tube. Everyone thinks he's a cripple. Marrying him is like being a widow. Stepmother Margaret laughed from ear to ear when she heard. Ex-boyfriend Kay didn't even blink. But Elena doesn't care. She would rather marry a stranger than continue to be someone else's fig leaf. First day of marriage, she thought she was waiting in a cold hospital room with a paralyzed patient in need of care. She was led to the lawn by the housekeeper, saw the vegetable husband standing there with a cup of coffee. Say to her, "Good morning, my bride." Elena was stunned. "Aren't you paralyzed?" Alistair chuckled. He handed her a gun. "Try this, it's stronger than a bow and arrow." The man's first lesson in recovery is to teach her to shoot, and then he did something that completely shocked her. He pushed over a contract. Inside are all the core assets of the Hale family: real estate, luxury goods, jewelry, even his grandfather's network of contacts and weapons in Italy. Sign it. Elena looked at him in disbelief. "You want to transfer all your property to me? You are not afraid that I will pay you?" Alistair looked into her eyes. She said something that made her heart skip a beat. "Because what I want from you is worth more than everything in this contract." "What is it?" "Your heart." Elena told herself she couldn't believe it. Absolutely can't believe it. She had been cheated by men for 5 years. "I won't be fooled again." But Alistair is not Kay. The first banquet after marriage, he made it especially for her, nominally welcoming the new hostess. It actually announces to everyone, "I'm awake. My woman doesn't want to move anyone." Elena walked into the ballroom in a red dress, and everybody froze. But trouble soon came. Kai looked at her with the complexity of an old love in his eyes. Olivia pretends to come forward, and congratulations is full of sour taste. Her stepmother Margaret directly humiliated her in public. "Do you think you are 1 year taller than us by marrying into the Hale family? Your husband is in a vegetative state, so you can change his diapers for the rest of your life." Elena hasn't had time to speak. Alistair emerged from behind her, and everybody stunned. He stood up. "Isn't he paralyzed?" Alistair walked up to Margaret. He said coldly, "It's not up to you, an old woman, to judge whether my wife is happy or not." Then he turned around and announced in front of everyone, House Hale wasn't built on being polite to people. "We are from the Italian Mafia. Respect is not based on age. It is won by strength. From now on, Eleni and I run the Hale Empire together. She has full power, including making anyone who offends her disappear." And there was silence. Elena looked at this man. For the first time, maybe this marriage isn't so bad. But just as she started to let down her guard, fate dealt her a blow. Alistair's Middle East business negotiations are a key step he had been planning for 5 years. He was on his way to the Middle East. The private plane crashed. The news is overwhelming. Hale Group CEO Alistair Hale confirmed dead. Elena collapsed. She just opened her heart, just ready to believe in love. Everything ended up being torn apart. She was crying to find his body herself. The assistant stopped her and handed her a document. "Ma'am, this is no accident. Percy, Alistair's uncle, has announced the takeover of the Hale Group." Elena looked at the document, eyes full of tears, but her voice grew colder. "He's going to take everything from Alistair. Let him try." She wiped away her tears, put on a suit, walked into the board of directors of the Hale Group alone. Everyone was watching her jokes, what a woman with a recently deceased husband can do. But she used the contract Alistair left her and froze all of Percy's assets. She's on the board. Word by word, "Alistair is gone, but I'm still here. Who dares to touch his things? I left him with no bones left." Just when everyone thought Elena was going to do it all alone, Alistair pushed the door and came in. The audience exploded. Percy's eyes widened. Aren't you dead?" "The plane crashed. I saw the wreckage with my own eyes." Alistair smiled. It looked like a leopard staring at its prey. Of course I knew you would set traps, uncle. So I made you think I was dead. Is that so? To get you and all the mice behind you. Lead out once. He looked at a room full of directors and enemies, not loud, but every word was like a knife. Now, game over. After the dust settles, Alistair took Elena to an old house. The moment Elena walked in the door, tears fell in the house where she had lived on her 8th birthday. It was the last place she lived with her late mother. After her mother passed away, the stepmother sold the house. She couldn't even take a single relic with her, but now, everything in this house, it's exactly the same as it was back then. She turned to look at Alistair. His voice trembled. How did you? This is what you did. Alistair looked into her eyes, said something that moved everyone. This house has always been yours, Elena. It just took some time. Just got it back. Then he told her a secret he had kept for 5 years. At the prom 5 years ago, Elena played a piano piece. Kay noticed her, but Alistair also noticed. Unlike Kai, he never got anyone wrong. He knew the girl playing the piano was Elena. No, from start to finish. He watched her being pursued by Kay, watched her fall in love, watching her get hurt, watching her step by step to where she is today. He can't do anything, because he had to fake paralysis for 5 years, to gather strength in the dark to bring down his uncle. But he was always there for her. When she was kicked out of the house by her stepmother, he got the hotel room booked. When she went to the cemetery to visit her mother, every time she finds her favorite dessert in front of the grave, her most lonely and hopeless years, a shadow had been protecting her. She thought it was Kay. She didn't know until today it was Alistair. I'm sorry I didn't show up in person, he said. But all these years, I have never forgotten you for a day. Elena cried and laughed. Am I a fool? I always thought it was Kai. Alistair got down on one knee, pulls a ring from his pocket that he designed himself. Elena, will you marry me? Not because I have to, but because you do. Elena cried and nodded. I do. This short play comes to an end. You will find that it is not about the female protagonist fights back by marrying the boss. It was how a woman rose from the rubble and discovered that she was always worthy of love. The most touching thing about Elena, no, she married Alistair, is that she never really gave up on herself. She didn't cry on her wedding day. Instead, she chose to change the groom. That was her dignity. She said she would rather marry a paralyzed stranger than stand in for someone else. She didn't wait for Alistair to save her when she was humiliated at the party. Instead, I stood there and told everyone with my eyes, I'm not afraid of you. She was not defeated after death in Alistair. He went into the boardroom to take care of his dead husband. Alistair loved her, not because of who she is, but because she was who she was, the woman who could never be beaten. And what about those who have hurt her? Kay finally realized what he had lost. But it's too late. Olivia was exposed for faking her piano playing. Locked in the basement by Kai, stepmother Margaret was sent to prison with Percy. Everyone who has hurt her, all paid the price, and Elena finally got the happiness she deserved.